Look at this Apple event last year when they announced the black colorway of the MacBooks. And arguably the most interesting thing from this event wasn't the fact that they released the new Macs in a brand new color or some new specs. No, it was the fact that the entire event was shot on an iPhone at night. I mean, you don't even need to know anything about cameras to know that that's just ridiculous. So was this a Mac event, or was this event really about the iPhone? Either way, it's pretty clear that Apple is a genius at marketing. They've mastered the art of showcasing multiple products in a single event, creating a buzz that extends far beyond the primary announcement. This strategy not only highlights their latest innovations every single time, but also reinforces their capabilities of their existing product line. Apple's marketing approach is pretty impressive. I mean, they're not just selling products, they're telling you stories. It makes you feel like you're part of something bigger, psychologically. This tactic actually works really well because Apple creates these multi-layered narratives that resonate with their audience at every single level. But honestly, this is just one simple, really small example. Apple does these marketing tricks in their sleep.
This amazing little device holds 1,000 songs and it goes right in my pocket.
Calling it iPhone.
You know that rare moment when an ad comes on and you actually stop what you're doing to watch it? Well, back in 1984, during the Super Bowl, something absolutely wild happened that kind of changed advertising forever. So 90 million people were sitting down to watch the game, probably expecting the usual car commercials and beer ads. And suddenly, they see this. This was Apple's legendary 1984 commercial. So what made it so special? They didn't even show the product they were selling. Not once. Instead, what viewers saw was this intense scene with rows of people totally zoned out, staring at this massive screen with this Big Brother type thing going on. Makes sense, it was 1984 after all. But it's some pretty strange stuff for a computer ad. But then, and this is where it gets good, this woman comes sprinting in with a sledgehammer and chucks that sledgehammer right at the screen, shattering it into a million pieces. The message was clear. Apple wasn't just selling a computer. So yeah, you might be thinking, okay, it's just an ad, let's not overanalyze it. But here's the thing. Before this, most tech companies were just showing off their features, reading off spec sheets. Apple, with this ad, completely flipped the script. They made it about an emotion. They were selling a feeling. And remember that fact, because let me tell you, it actually worked. This ad didn't just introduce the Macintosh, it turned Apple into this tech symbol of creativity that still sort of sticks with them today. And you know what's funny? Some Apple executives actually hated it at first. They thought it was like too out there, too risky. But Steve Jobs and the creative team didn't really care about that. And also this one commercial basically created the Super Bowl ad culture that we know today, where companies try to outdo each other with these multi-million-dollar productions. And that brings us to the first thing that you need to take away with Apple. They are insane storytellers. They are insanely good at delivering on a particular narrative and ingraining that into your brain. Okay, so let me take you through how Apple has truly mastered the art of storytelling. And we gotta start with those unforgettable iPod silhouette ads. So Apple's advertising journey really took off with the iPod, a device that completely changed how we experience portable music. What made these ads so powerful wasn't just these minimalist design that we see. These ads you're seeing, the iPod wasn't even at the center of it. It was just the vehicle to get you to feel a certain way. I mean, when you watch it, they weren't selling you a device. They were selling you the pure joy and absolute freedom of quote-unquote losing yourself in the music. Or how about when Apple launched the iPhone using the Hello commercial that they released during the Oscars? Or the Mac vs. PC campaign that they had? Or Apple's 1997 Think Different campaign that also had a similar inspirational tone. This one featured people like Einstein and Martin Luther King and encouraged people to challenge the status quo. Makes you feel like you're joining a movement of sorts. So these campaigns went beyond the traditional advertising. They became a sort of call to action depending on what thing they were trying to sell you. And yes, it even comes back to their shot on iPhone campaigns. Yeah, at face value, it's showing off the iPhone, but it's subtly signaling to people that have an iPhone in their pocket, or if you buy one of their Pro phones, that you can create these kind of videos too, that it's accessible to you. Apple's marketing strategy focuses on these powerful storytelling techniques that resonates with us and our aspirations. Instead of simply advertising products, they create narratives that highlight the people's innovation and creativity, rather than just listing off a spec sheet. And these campaigns build upon each other, forming a consistent story that emphasizes simplicity. And it's not just talk. Apple's commitment to this simplicity goes way beyond just the look of their products. It's a core part of their entire business strategy. I mean, you see it everywhere. First, their design philosophy is all about this. Every detail is carefully chosen to show their craftsmanship, attention to detail. When you hold it in your hand, you can tell the difference. Even their packaging is designed to make the simple act of opening a box feel special. Apparently, Apple meticulously designs the packaging experience, with employees spending months testing hundreds of prototypes to perfect the exact friction, drag, and sounds of opening the box. I mean, even Apple's communication strategy is all about cutting through the noise with simple messages. Especially in the world we live in right now, overloaded with information, they're masters at boiling down complex tech into easy to understand ideas. Remember their iconic 1,000 songs in your pocket slogan for the iPod? That perfectly captured the product's appeal in a single catchy phrase. Or those early iPhone ads. They just showed people doing everyday things like answering your call or browsing the web or your email, highlighting how the iPhone seamlessly fits into your life. I mean, even the names that they choose for their products are like this. They're simple and memorable. A laptop is a MacBook. Earbuds are the AirPods. iPhone is iPhone.
And they don't have some complex naming system like other brands. Like, look at this phone. It's the OnePlus Nord N30 5G.
But at the same time, Apple makes their products sound like they're different, like they're unique. They even took AI and called it Apple Intelligence. For the average person, that's just genius branding. Everything has a name that's easy to remember, and they make it feel special. Even the Apple Store itself is designed around the idea of simplicity. It's showcased like a product catalog that makes you even feel honored to even be looking at the products. The phones and laptop are open and situated at a specific angle. It's got a clean, open layout, and it's sort of a physical version of their marketing and product design, but in the store. This approach makes the store feel calm, inviting, and helps customers focus on the high-quality products. And then also makes their tech feel less intimidating and approachable.
And Apple's success isn't just about being simple. They've also mastered the art of desire.
Apple fans are flocking to stores across the country.
Oh, there you could see all of the folks lined up there at the store.
They're battling this crazy long line that's wrapping around the block.
Their brand is something that people crave to be part of. And this came from the very top. Steve Jobs had a vision, focus on a few amazing products instead of spreading thin. This allowed Apple to pour resources into making few truly exceptional devices, secure exclusive deals on the best components, and maintain their quality control. The result? Products that feel premium and innovative. But it's not just about the products themselves. Apple has also turned product launches into sort of cultural events. We used to see lines around the block for the latest iPhone. That's not an accident. By carefully managing the situation, Apple creates a sense of urgency and FOMO with people. You just don't want an iPhone, you want it right now. And once you're in, the Apple ecosystem keeps you hooked. The seamless way that your devices work together, like AirDrop, iMessage, they create a closed community that's hard to leave. Switching to a competitor means losing those benefits. Apple isn't selling you an iPhone or a laptop, they're selling you an entire lifestyle. Even the advertisements that I showed you before, instead of bombarding you with these cheesy ads, Apple focuses on high-profile product placements, strategic PR if you will. Creators feel honored to even go to an Apple event to cover it, creating buzz and excitement around the launch, furthering a sense of exclusivity. This combination of simplicity, exclusivity, and masterful marketing has created a level of brand loyalty that's almost unheard of. Apple customers aren't just buying the technology, they're buying into this community.
You know, it's kind of like you didn't just buy an Apple product, you sort of feel like you earned one, or at least the Apple fanboys do, which, let's be real, is a big part of their ecosystem. There's a portion of Apple fanboys that have cult-like tendencies.
I mean, these fans are so enthusiastic. They're super active on social media, posting about their new Apple products, making videos of themselves unboxing their purchases, taking cool photos with their new iPhone. Basically means they're doing even more free advertising for the company. And unfortunately for the rest of the tech world and the companies, they would love to just have this level of fan base for even one of their products.
And this is especially true in the United States, where there's for some reason a big deal about whether your text messages in the group chat are green bubbles or blue bubbles, as if it's some sort of status symbol. And even though the rest of the community has been asking Apple to add RCS, which they finally did with the limited feature set, but even then, iPhone users don't want to talk to people with green bubbles, which kind of pressures people to stay with Apple.
iPhone all the way. Why are you having an Android? Go get your money up, get out of the house.
Even when Apple makes decisions that seem controversial or just frankly so stupid, like making the keyboards garbage, or when they got rid of the headphone jack, or when the power button on the latest Mac Mini is at the bottom, or when you have to plug in the Apple Pencil into the iPad to charge it, their fans will defend them, or at least they will choose to ignore it. They'll even say that these changes are good because they're innovative. Apple fans don't just buy the products, they talk about them all the time, defend the company, and basically help keep Apple's image as a high-end brand. They're not just customers, they're like a team of volunteer marketers.
And let's be real, their product does speak for itself. They deliver, so you feel satisfied that the hype, the wait, and everything was worth it.
The truth is, Apple consistently produces devices that meet and often exceed customer expectations. Just look at the latest M series chips over the last few years, or the latest iPhone 16 Pro. This commitment to quality is reflected in their sales figures, and also their customer satisfaction ratings. Apple ranked number 1 in the American Customer Satisfaction Index in 2024, with a score of 85 out of 100. Also this year, Apple's iPhone sales accounted for 50% of the company's revenue. Like, do most people really need a new iPhone? Probably not, but that doesn't matter. I mean, just look no further than realizing that there are about 2.2 billion active Apple devices worldwide as of this year. The numbers don't lie. Apple's focus on delivering the premium, high-quality products continue to resonate with its customers. Whether you're an Apple enthusiast or skeptic, there's no denying the company's a marketing genius. Their storytelling, pursuit of simplicity, and frankly an unwavering commitment to quality, Apple's built a brand that's a cultural force right now. They've transformed the product launches into global events, their devices into objects of desire rather than like an iPhone. And that's the genius of Apple. They don't just sell you a product, they sell you an experience, a lifestyle, and a sense of belonging in a strange way. A marketing feat that's truly extraordinary.